Hey YouTube fam, we need to play catch up. I've been kind of missing in action for a little bit, so I'm gonna drive home from work and let's talk about it. Okay, sorry, I've been missing in action for a little bit. I do have content recorded, I just haven't posted anything. I just did a Sonic review, so I will post that. But I'm on my way home from work and it's a pleasant day in the neighborhood. I got my back seat cleaned out. If you ever watch my videos, it's always full of stuff because I'm a reseller and I've always got a carload of stuff. So I got all the stuff out of it, and I think if I can work it in within my budget, I am going to get my car detailed maybe later, maybe not just yet. Anyways, so I just wanted to kind of talk about some things as far as what's going on with me. I'm okay. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm kicking. And but like I said, it's a raining, and if you hear my windshield wipers, and I'm behind a chicken truck, and I hate getting behind chicken trucks or turkey trucks or cow truck, any kind of truck with animals in it, because it always makes me feel guilty because I like to eat chicken and I like to eat beef. So anyways, what's going on? I've been kind of slow with the funeral home, which it's okay. We take the slow, business, I hate to say when the business is good in the funeral business, but right now we're just kind of, don't dare say the Q word, quiet, because boy, that it just, when it rains it pours. So I had a class, well, she was actually a little bit older than me. She passed away this week. Somebody I went to school with, grew up with, and so that always kind of makes you sad, and makes you think about your own mortality, and so I've been trying to get my affairs in order, and I've been really working hard at paying some bills off. And I've been trying to raise my credit score. Years ago, I had a very good credit score. I had like a 760 or something like that. And then, I don't know what happened. After I bought my house and I bought this car, I just kind of, of course, my mom was going through her dementia, when she got diagnosed with that. And I'll just be honest, I just didn't care. I didn't care about a credit score. And I'm not one of them Dave, I used to love Dave Ramsey, but I'm one of those people that cannot do the Dave Ramsey plan. He wants me to just suffer. I'm not a big beans and rice fan. And anyways, I had to find a way to budget. And for the last year, I've been doing what they call velocity banking. There's so many videos on it. I watch a lady, her name is Christy Vann, and I'll make sure to link some of her videos up here, but I watch her and I've learned a lot from her videos. And so anyways, I've been busted. Like, I got one of my credit cards paid off. I actually got 2 credit cards paid off, and of course, when you pay one off, then I had one with US Bank and I paid it off, and boy, they shut me down as soon as I paid it off. They turned it off, but they sent me this letter saying they thought there was fraudulent activity happening on my account. I'm thinking, I paid it off. How could it be fraud? What crook is going to go and pay off my credit card? Really? So anyways, needless to say, they shut my credit card down, which they did kind of ding my credit score, but that's okay. I didn't need it. So I got that credit card paid off, and then I got another credit card paid off, and it was like $2,300, and I've been throwing everything that I made at it, so it's paid off. Now I'm down to just my Discover, and then I have one that I use for, it's like with Capital or something. I don't remember what it's with. But anyways, I use it just for like, it only had a $300 limit on it, and I guess they've been so proud of me, so they raised it to $600. I really didn't want them to, but they did. And I guess that looks good on your credit report. But I was really excited because I had tried to get if you're not familiar with a HELOC, a HELOC is a home equity line of credit. So I have a lot of equity in my home. I really have pushed to pay my house off. So I have a lot of equity, so I was wanting to kind of borrow against the equity to kind of pay off some bills and stuff like that. And with Velocity Banking, you've got to have what they call a line of credit. So I use my credit cards as my line of credit. So I'm just down to 2 credit cards. And I try to pay them, like I'm trying to pay them all down, and then I just use them like to put my utilities on and groceries and stuff like that. I do it for that. And then when I get my check, I put it all on there. So I've done really well doing Velocity Banking. When you have ADHD, you've got to find something that works for you. And for me, if I tighten myself too much, I blow it. I blow my budget every time. So the difference between the whole Dave Ramsey way, you're supposed to work 14 jobs and you got to pay all your bills. Okay, Dave, I'm almost 60. I can't work. I mean, I have worked multiple jobs, but I can't anymore, and I can't put my body through that. Now, I know I got debt, but I'm working it off. And so, of course, y'all know I have resale booths, so that kind of helps pay some of my debt off too. So, like I said, I'm not happy with myself for getting myself in this position, but I am happy because, like I said, I used to have over 700 credit score, but I did raise my credit score to, I think I calculated it today, and I raised it like 58 points. So there is another lady that teaches Velocity Banking, and this is what I love about her. Now, I love Christy Vann, but she writes everything on a board, and I can't mentally get it. But this other lady, and I'm sorry I can't think of her name, but I make sure to link her videos too. I like her because she does it she puts stuff in different color ink, which is how I do my budget. I mean, I can show you my little budget right here. And well, this is my budget, which I can't really show you a whole lot of it, but I'll show you, because sometimes I put stuff in different colors, and that kind of gives me an idea. Okay, yeah, I paid that off. I use green pens for cash, when I pay cash, and I use a blue pen for my credit cards. Yeah, no, it's just hey, it works for me, and it's worked for me. I've really pushed myself the last year to do it, well over a year, to do it like this, and I'm doing really well. So, but I also have issue, and I will admit, I have impulsivity. I think that's the right word. But I do impulse spend, and I get mad at myself for doing that because, and I've talked to my ADHD doctor a lot about it, and it's very frustrating if you act on impulse. And like, I'll just buy things. And my daughter made a comment to me the other day, because she's not lived around me in 7 years, and she said, Mom, she said, you forget that you buy things, which is a huge ADHD thing. I'll go, oh, I don't remember buying that. When did I buy that? And she said, Mom, you buy things and you forget you bought them. And I do. It's really, really sad, and I find things in my house, and I'll look at them like, when did I buy this? And she did point that out to me. She said, Mom, I do notice that you buy a lot of things and you forget about them. True. That is, I'm sorry, I'm riding the ADHD crutch. That is, I do that. And so I've been trying to teach myself ways of not being so impulsive, and especially when I'm really trying to watch my money. And there's a few things that I would like to do, like I need to do a little bit of work to my house. I've really thought about selling my house and downsizing, maybe buying me like a tiny home or a camper or something like that. I don't know. I just want to be a free bird. And so, like I said, I'm just trying to get, and you know, I'd like to have a new car. And I think, oh man, I'd get me a new car. Well, I'm so turned upside down in my car. I will not lie. I mean, this is a 2016 car, and I still owe about $20,000 on it. Simply because stupid me traded 2 cars in for this car. Now, justify it. I had my own business. I was a medical courier. So having a good, dependable car was very important when you are a medical courier, because I might have to head out at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I would have to go pick up emergency medication for somebody in a whole other city and deliver it. So say you needed an IV of antibiotics, and so I had to go and pick them up at the big pharmacy and take them to the nursing home or the assisted living or the rehab where you were. So, and I worked for myself. I had my own business, so I had to supply my own car. So, and I put a lot of miles on it. This car, like I said, I traded 2 cars in to get this car. This is an excellent car. I really am afraid to brag on it, because then it'll probably something happen. It's an excellent car. It's like I said, it's a 2016 Prius. My son calls it my soccer mom car. Nothing against soccer moms, but you know, I am close to 60, so probably don't look. But hey, it's got this really nice sunroof in it. And anyway, so yeah, that has been a big pain in my butt. I mean, I've really thought about different ways that I could, you know, refinance it, you know, but I'm learning that you don't want to refinance a car. I mean, you just don't want to pay more. I mean, if you refinance something, then you're going to have to turn around and pay interest on it again. So anyways, I've got a little something up my sleeve on how to get this paid for, and I've thought about even leasing a car and getting rid of this car. But I mean, even if, I think my bank told me the loan value on this car is like $16,000, and I mean, but I'm still got $4,000 I got to come up with. So the thing is, I have just decided I'm just going to keep my car. I'm just going to drive it. I don't need a new car. And you know, I want to know what it's like to not have a car payment, because you know, I've had a car payment for never long. I mean, at one time I had 2 car payments, because I had 2 cars that I ran for the courier business when I was a courier. So like I said, this is not a very luxury car or fancy car, but it's a car, and it's almost 10 years old, but it still runs good, and I get amazing gas mileage, so I can't really complain about the gas mileage. So, and now I only drive, I mean, I used to put, when I was doing courier work, I was putting like 10 to 15, 20,000 miles on my car a year, and so now I'm not putting near that much. So I'm just going to go ahead and just keep it and try to get it paid off. That will help with my debt. But yeah, that's what I'm really wanting, to get some debt paid off. And once I get some debt paid off, like I have an insurance. I also do I don't know if you've ever heard of infinite banking. It's another thing that I watch. I watch a guy called Christy Naugle, and oh my God, I've learned so much from him. But there is a book about infinite banking that a man named, his last name is Nash. Sorry, I can't remember anybody's name. And so I'm really have gotten into that, and so I got me a policy, and it teaches you to be your own bank. Okay, so I had a little bit of money saved up, and I bought me this policy, and I put this money in a policy, and I'm able to draw it out when I need it. So the other day I was trying to pay them 2 credit cards down, because that also helps my credit score. So I drew some money out of that that policy is like $2,000, and basically I'm using my own money to pay my debts off, but yet my money is still going to be getting dividends and what else is that? Interest, accrue, all that. So I took that $2,000 and I put it towards my credit cards because I'm trying to get my credit. I also learned that you should, so say you have a $3,000 limit on your credit card, and you should not have more than 10% on it. So like I said, I try to pay my bills, and then when I get my paycheck, I put my paycheck towards the credit card, and then try to keep it below 10%. So anyways, that's just some of the things I've been doing. And if you ever I like to show my this is my debt is the devil. Because, you know, I mean, it just stinks that we get that way. And I mean, I really used to, okay, so I was going to show you how I color code things. Like this green is when I pay, if this was no spend January, but when I pay my bills with my debit, I do it in green. And I mean, and then I write little notes to myself. And you know, and just that's just me, and it works for me. And it helps me stay on track really well. And so when I get paid each week, I know what bills I've got to pay. So this was April. So yeah, so I just know what bills I got to pay with, because I get paid on a Monday. I get paid every Monday. So I try to keep my I just know what bills to pay on Monday. And you don't want me to go into how I do my budget? Hey, let me know in comments and I can kind of show you. But like I said, one of the ladies that I follow, I absolutely love her because she's really big on using a planner. And so see, I've already started on June's budget, and sometimes I'll just write it in pencil and then I'll go back and put it with a color. But like, here's some major things that I've got to pay. I need to pay my county taxes on my mom's property, so that'll be in June. And then I need to pay my insurance, so I'm gonna try to pay all my insurance up, my car insurance. And then this will, anyways, so that'll be another video, but that's how I do it, and it has worked for me. And it's almost, sometimes I get excited when I get to budget because I enjoy it. I never thought I would enjoy budgeting now, but like I said, back to the impulsive shopping, I've had to really pull the reins back on it. The only time I really do any shopping is if I'm buying stuff for like my booth, you know, like when I need to buy inventory for my booth, stuff like that. And if I do that, then in most cases I try to pay myself back if I use my own personal money. But this last time, my daughter and I opened a booth and together, and so I wasn't really able to pay myself back because I was trying to get us off the ground and get our business off the ground. So that has kind of been a little bit of a debt. But I had the one credit card which only had $300 on it, was a 300 max. I would use it to buy like inventory and stuff like that, like a Goodwill shopping and stuff. So I do try to, whatever I sell, I try to pay myself back or pay, yeah, whatever. So anyway, so that's me, and that's just how I rock and roll, you know. And I'm really working hard to get my debts down. But anyways, yeah, that's just me, what's going on with me. Thanks for coming home with me. I'm home now, and I'm gonna go home, or go. I don't have a garage or anything, so I have to get out of my car and get out in the rain. And there's another thing I want to do eventually, is build me a carport so that I don't get wet or get snowed on. So when I bought this house, it didn't have one, and I think he had planned to build one, but I think he was already too far in debt as far as the house. So anyways, that is another thing. So there's just a few things I would like to do, and you know, so working on my devil debt. and just getting myself in a place that I'm more comfortable, especially with this economy coming on. It's not going to be fun, you know, and so I just want to be in a good place. So I will make sure to leave some links for like the infinite banking that I was telling you about, and the Christy Vann, who I watch, and then the other lady, I can't remember her name, but I told you she color codes her debt and all that, and shows you how to do it with a calendar. Shows you how to write all your stuff down, you know, and like I said, this has worked so good for me. I mean, because sometimes I sit and will study my debt like at night when I will sit here, like at work today. I was going over it and making notes for myself. Like, you know, my game plan is basically what it is on how I'm going to pay this, how I'm going to pay that, what I'm going to sell to pay this. You know, I mean, I've done that, you know, because I've sold things out of my house that I didn't need anymore. And then I said, oh, well, I'm going to take that money and put it towards. So that's just how I've been rolling. That's just how I work. And so it's been very beneficial for me to do it like that. So anyways, but I will list that. If you want to know more about budgeting or want to see how I do mine, let me know, and I'll make a video on it, okay? All right, thanks for joining me. I'm home now, and it's raining, and I don't have an umbrella. So, thanks for joining me. See you soon.